Namaskar, namaskar, namaskar. In this video, we will discuss circulatory system of the cockroach. So you all know that circulatory system of the cockroach is open type of circulatory system present, right? In this open type of circulatory system, they have one tubular heart which is present dorsal side of their body, and then they have ill developed, not completely developed. They have partially developed. They have ill developed blood vessels, and then in body cavities are present, that is called sinuses, right? That is called body sinuses, or you call hemocoel, right? So this open, which I mean this open type of circulatory system, is such a type of system in which organs are dipped into blood. Blood, you say, or better you say hemolymph, right? So they have blood also, or hemolymph also. This hemolymph, you see, now this hemolymph, what is the hemolymph? uh, Blood, you say, or hemolymph, you say, I told just. And that the blood flow into the cavities, that is called hemocoel. And then they have heart, and then they have one ill, no, is partially developed blood vessel, right? Remember it, in their in their circulatory system, blood capillaries are not present, right? Blood capillaries means everything is completely developed, right? So what about hemolymph? You see, this hemolymph is, clear colorless fluid, right? The plasma. And then they have cells also, that is called hemocytes, right? These cells will not carry any kind of respiratory pigment. Respiratory pigment, they won't carry respiratory pigment, illa, absent, right? They have hemocyte. These hemocytes are phagocytic cells. So blood is actually clear colorless plasma. They have some cells that are phagocytic cells. They will phagocyte the microorganism whoever will enter there. And then they have not any kind of respiratory pigment. Like human have hemoglobin, they don't have any kind of respiratory pigment. And then they have body cavity in which this blood flow, that is called body sinuses, right? Now their body can divide mainly into three body cavities. This upper one is called pericardial sinus. Yes, this is this upper one here, you see, this is dorsal side, pericardial sinus, because it's accommodate heart. And then this lower one is the perineural sinus, because it's accommodate their nerve cord. And then in between, perineural sinus, pericardial sinus, perivisceral sinus, and perineural sinus. Now in pericardial sinus, uh, in pericardial sinus and perivisceral sinus, one structure present, you see here, this is called dorsal diaphragm. And between perineural sinus and perivisceral sinus, another diaphragm present, that is called ventral diaphragm, right? Now we will see heart in detail. See the heart, student. This heart is, long tubular, and it's long tubular actually, and it's lying from thorax to abdomen, and it's present in the mid dorsal part of their body. Mid dorsal part, what is present in your mid dorsal part? In your mid dorsal part of the body, your vertebral bones are present. In same way, they have heart, right? There are 13 funnel shape chambers present in the heart. These all chambers, yeah, these all chambers can contract. And what they do, they actually receive blood from the ostia. So from the ostia is the fine opening present both side, left side also, right side also, laterally present. So from the perivisceral sinus, blood will I mean hemolymph through ostia, they will enter into the heart. And then that blood will flow only posterior to anterior side, like that blood will flow one to second funnel shape structure. right? Finally it will come to aorta, that is called anterior aorta, and from aorta it will come to their head. From head again, that blood will go back to perineural sinuses or perivisceral sinuses, and then again they will enter into the ostia and the cycle will repeat, right? So this is their heart actually, right? Remember, heart 13 chambers are present. Each chamber have one pair of the funnel, and then uh, the chambers are funnel shaped, and each chamber have one pair of the fine opening, that's called ostia, and blood will always flow from posterior to anterior side here. Fine. And this all body cavity, I mean the heart chambers, is controlled by, their contraction is controlled by a muscle, that is, you see, hand fan shaped muscle, and this muscle is called alary muscle. This alary muscle, is contraction and relaxation of this alary muscle, which are total 12 pairs. They control, I mean, the all kind of movement in the heart that causes flow of blood here. This is what the circulatory system. Now come to their respiratory system, student. So respiratory system, very, I mean it's a kind of robust system in the cockroach. It's robust, yes. Why I'm saying robust? Your lungs are extended all over your body? No, not extended, right? But in their respiratory system, they have network of tubules, that's called trachea, and then that have branching, that is called tracheoles. They have some tubules, total 10 tube like structures. This 10 tube like structure are called trachea, and that have branching, that's called tracheole. So trachea and tracheole present all part of their body. Total 10 pairs they are, and they have slit like opening, that slit like opening is called spiracle, or you call it stigmata. Okay, and it's present lateral side, both side present, like this is one trachea, so both side this opening is called spiracles. Okay, so they have trachea have two opening, that is called spiracles or stigmata, and then they have branching also, that is called tracheole. So what will happen? Through the small spiracles, this opening is spiracles, through small spiracles respiratory gases will enter, and then they will come to a chamber present inside, that is called atrium, and then they have branching the trachea, that is called tracheole, and finally it will open into a cell, that is called tracheolar cell. Fine. Turbosternal muscle extend ventrally from the tergites to the sternites, and they control movement here. Try to understand it. Turbosternal muscles, is a kind of muscle present into the cockroach, right? This turbosternal muscle is present from their ventral side to, sorry, from dorsal side to ventral side. Okay, from dorsal side they are connected with tergums, tergites plural, and ventral side they are connected with the sternum, and then connecting between tergum and sternum, they control movement in the spiracles, and that help, in the exchange of gases. And remember it, student, our, I'm talking about human, our inspiration is active process and expiration is passive process, but in cockroach their inspiration is passive process and expiration is active process. Yes. So in their respiratory system, we saw they have trachea and tracheoles. 10 pairs of total 10 trachea are present. How many trachea? 10 trachea are present, and each trachea have one pair of opening. That opening is called spiracles or stigmata, and then the trachea have branches also. That is called tracheole. Okay, now come to the excretion here. What is major nitrogenous metabolic waste, students? The major nitrogenous metabolic waste is uric acid. Yes, uric acid. their major nitrogenous metabolic waste is uric acid. Okay, that they excrete by 100 to 150 fine tube like structure. That fine tube like structure joined hindgut between midgut and hindgut, right? They are fine, long, unbranched yellow tubes. And what they do, they will take uric acid from the hemolymph and excrete there. They have glandular cells, and even ciliated cells are also present. So see, this is one, that blind tube that is called Malpighian tubules. So sodium ion, potassium ion, water, potassium urate will enter, right? Now this potassium urate will ionize here immediately, and then it will form urate minus ion it will form, right? This urate minus ion, immediately they will react with hydrogen ion and they will form uric acid. So can we say within this Malpighian tubule uric acid will form, and then this uric acid, it will excrete out, but potassium ion will reabsorb, hydrogen ion the remaining will be reabsorbed, sodium ion will reabsorb back. But uric acid through hindgut, it is going to excrete out from our body, cockroach body. Okay, so Malpighian tubules are for excretion of uric acid. Remaining we will see in next